all, what you want to do. For this, an assessment of practicability of a proposed plan or method. Then what you are going to do? Is this feasible? Okay, do we have or can we create a technology to do this? Or we will get our ROI, return on investment. If we are really doing this, whether the investment is the fruitful or not, then this is what. And secondly, the when. During the project's life cycle, what will be to do in that the project going to implement? Then after the project or then after the business case. Okay, then when we'll do this pre-feasibility study. You have to confirm. Then why? Determine the factor that will make the business opportunity success. Okay, then which factor? Sure, that one that help you for the business or the project will be success. That is the why we need to make the important parameters for the doing the feasibility study. And again, the how you are going to do this the feasibility study. On this, then conduct a preliminary analysis. Okay, take some data and go to analysis. Either analysis drawback or the SWOT analysis, everything. Then whether that is the fair enough or not. And prepare a projected income statement. Okay, then on this. Okay, then what is the cost incurred and then benefit generated? So you need the income statement of that 0 years or before starting the project, and conduct a market survey, developing the certain question and then go to the field and then do the survey. And the fourth one is the plan business organization operation. Then after the getting data and making the organization or the business organization who are the linking organization, the first, second, third, whatever, then what will the operation, the which organization, prepare the activity responsibility. And prepare a opening day of the balance sheets. Okay, 0 year, which date? And the next time, then again, you have to develop the balance sheet after the 1 year. So now what is the opening date here? And review and analyze all data. Review again and again, analyze the data. Whether that is that is the appraisal criteria is matching or the suitable or not. Analyze it and make go or no and the go decision. On decision, you need to make the good proposal for taking the green signal. Only then the job or your efforts is the fruitful. And then for this, the fruitful decision and what are the best practices? Here, use the template tools or survey which we did cover yesterday, and involve the appropriate stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders to the selected project? Who will supply the inputs? With the producer and with the processor and with involving in that's the backward linkages or the forward linkages here. Use the market survey. Your product is going to that's the sale in the market or not. Go to that is the market survey or market issues. Then only go start. And then do you have the homework or ask the question? Whether then you are asking the appropriate question or not to the client. Either that is the users or the ultimate users or the whatever the any part of the value chain of the actors. And by doing this, what is the roadmap for the feasibility study report? Execute summary first. Okay, then what is the introduction? What is the methodology? And that's the objectives. What is the problem? What is the methodology? And then doing this, what will be in your hand, whether you are going to recommend or not. So on this here, the executive summary, you must be there. And second one, the description of the product or services. Describe where you, the introduction part. What is this? What is the rationale of that study and objectives or hypothesis, whatever then you have the ideas. Describe or whatever then they introduce first. And then go to the technology consideration. What technology you are going to take in or maybe the action is whatever. project or service marketplace. Where is the location? Site. And marketing strategy. What is your the marketing strategy of that upscaling of that product? Or organization or staff. What is your organization? Then who is the manager, who is the consultant, who is supporting the all organization or the staff schedule, whatever. And the schedule or the calendar of operation. Time. The Gantt chart, whatever that and the operation. What will you start? What will the job complete? And financial projection, either that is the financial or economic projection, whatever they are. And whatever this finding recommendation on the basis of that technology, marketing, organization, and financial. So these are the stocks or guidelines for developing the pre-feasibility study. Maybe you can add a few more headings here, or the deleting the few more, that's the heading here. Then suppose you have already done the financial projection, whatever, then why you need the findings here? You can omit the findings. Or you make the findings and the recommendation here. This is the general guidelines, stocks are of a feasibility study report. Okay, by doing this, these are the first glance giving you, and then I'll try to convince of the briefing with example. Any more question up to now?
And question the 4.
I think that then we have covered a study in the pre-feasibility studies, somehow a little bit similar and somehow a little bit different. Okay, an example of feasibility study report. Here, the project title is the value chain development of fruits and vegetables in Nepal. Then we have that is the value chain projects that has been started in 18 and then running up to 5 years, maybe 2022. So this is the project title. Whether the feasibility studies, the guidelines is adopted here or not. Okay, then is the 2 column and the different rows here. The item and specification, organization. What is the title of the organization? The project title is the value chain development of the fruits and vegetables in Nepal. And then the organization is what that project is running by the UNDP, somehow some director here. And then these are the information of that UNDP is who is guiding the projects, UNDP. And date of submission is that 14th February 2018, when it was submitted, or the date of the submission. And target country is Nepal. So this is funded by UNDP as well as the KOICA, that is the Korea, whatever the funding from outside. So that is the target is here, maybe the other country as well. So this is the starting point. And the beneficiaries from starting project, who will be the beneficiary here? Direct beneficiaries and indirect. From that starting of this, the value chain development of that fruits and vegetable projects, who will be the direct beneficiaries? Maybe 9,900 small holder farmers growing the fruits and vegetables in target area, or the 20 collection centers and the satellite market that's going to establish cooperative management of that is the 150 participants of the training and the cooperatives, and the 60 participants from the exposure visit, whatever the 60s, and extension officer, junior technician, private extension or provider or the lead farmers, 1,125 participants, and taking the training on the extension and the production technology, whatever there. And the government staff working on extension and the post-harvest loss management, that is the 40 participants to the exposure visit from the Department of Agriculture, NARC, and state government, or whatever that is the state or maybe provincial level, whatever here. So these are the direct beneficiaries from the projects. Then who are the indirect beneficiaries? And then 25,000 of target farmers household, and the farmers and their household outside the target who will be eventually benefiting from the adoption of the new post-harvest technology. And 100 private extension providers, agrovates who are supplying the inputs, and other private services provider in the transportation, packaging, material supply sectors, consumers, staff of the Ministry of the Agriculture, the land management and cooperatives, and the NARC as well. So these are the indirect beneficiaries.
है कहाँबाट हेऱ्यो त्यस्तो
Let's move to the project period.
मैले
When
त
it
अस्ति
will
उसमा
start
क्या
and when it will
इन्टरभ्यू दिँदा इजरायलमा
maybe
होइन
the June
इजरायलमा
18
यो सर थियो क्या
and the
हिँडिरहेको थियो ब्याग
December
बोकेर यस्तो
2022.
ठुलो जस्तो ब्याग
That
बोकेर
is 54
होइन
months
अनि
duration of the process.
सोधि पनि रहेको थियो तिमीहरूको इन्टरभ्यू पालेर
And then
यताउति
goal
सोधिरहेको
and
थियो
objectives.
म
What is
त
the
पत्रकार
overall
सत्रकार
goal
होला
and what is
सोचेपछि
the immediate objective of that projects? That
नेपाली
is
पनि
the
सोधेको
value
थियो
chain development
कालिका सर होइन कि
of
शिवचन्द्र
the
सर
fruits and vegetable project
अनि
in the farm.
त्यसपछि
And
मैले
the goal
पत्रकार
is to
सत्रकार होला
improve the
अथवा
income
केही
of
बुझ्न
smallholder
लागेको
farmers
थियो
through the value chain
के
development
गर्नु
of
सर
the
हुनु सर भनेर
vegetables
थाहा छैन जिन्दगी
and
जिन्दगी यार
fruits
मैले पनि देखाएन क्या
provinces 3
कुनै कुनै सर
and
त नपढाइ नै
4
यही हो
in the
सर हो
farm.
भने थाहा हुन्छ नि
That
त
is the 3 and 4.
जिन्दगी देखाएन
That
सरलाई
is
नाम पनि सुनेन
3 is Bagmati
अनि
and 4
पछि
is Gandaki.
केटाहरूले पो अनि
Yeah.
इन्टरभ्यू
So
सकेपछि
that is the direct
ऊ
goal
त्यो
of the
शिवचन्द्र सरलाई सोधेको मैले
smallholder is the
भोलि
income
प्रोग्राम
is
हुन्छ
going to
भन्छ
uplift.
कुन शिवचन्द्र सर भन्छ
And
ऊ त्यो
contributing
त्यो
the
ब्याग बोकिरहेको थियो नि भन्छ ए
outcomes
त्यो सर
and
हो भाइ बल्ल भयो
indicators.
क्या
What are the contributing outcomes and indicators for that meeting that goal? And sustainable development goal is that is the
यो
first 1.4
एक्सिलेन्सी
by
वेलकम
2030.
टु एम्बेसडर भनेर
Ensure that
गऱ्यो
all men and
प्रोग्राम
women
होस्ट गरेको थियो कि भोलिपल्टको
in the particular in the poor and the vulnerables have right to economic
फर्स्ट
resources
बेन्चमा
as
बसेर
well
फोटो
as
आएको थियो
access
नि
to
मेरो
the basic
इक्जाम गयौँ अनि
services,
त्यही भएर सेयर गरेको
ownerships, control over the land and other forms of properties, inheritance, natural resources, appropriate new technology, financial services, including microfinance, whatever they are. Under 1.4, 1.4.1, proportion of the population living in the household then with access to the basic services, and they will get basic services on from these value chain projects. And under this, again continue, and the 2.3, that's the goal or the objectives. By 2030, double the agriculture productivity and income of the small scale food producer, in particular women, indigenous people, family farmers, pastoralists, fisheries, or the fishermen, whatever they're including through secure and equal access to the land and other productive resources and input, knowledge, financial services, markets and opportunity for the value addition and non-farm employment. So these are the side by side that the indirect benefits getting from that process. And under this, that's 2.3.1, volume of the production per labor unit by classes of the familiar, pastoral, or the forest enterprises may be increased. And then the second point, average income of the small scale food producers by sex and indigenous status. It means that their income is going to average above the average increase. Again, 2.4 by 2030, ensure the sustainable food production system and implement the resilience agriculture practices that increase the productivity and production. Not only increase the production, productivity is also going to increase. Then they have to maintain ecosystem that strengthen the capacity of adaptation to climate change,
ए भाइ
extreme
हम
weather,
बनाए जस्तो थियो
that is
दो
weather or the drought,
नहीं,
flooding,
दो
and other disasters that progressively improve the land and soil quality. And under this, as a proportion of the agricultural area under the productive and sustainable nature. So under this, the projects, the productivity and ultimately that the sustainable agriculture. And again, that is the goal and objective continue. And the 2.A increase the investment, saving and investment, and including through the enhanced the international cooperation in the rural infrastructure, agriculture issues and extension services, technology development, and plant and livestock gene bank to enhance agriculture productive capacity in the developing country or with the least developed country. So these are the hitting moving target of that, either the livestock or the plant gene bank, whatever technology, whatever they are.
whatever
Business the lab, whatever they are. And again, 2.1.8.1, and the agricultural orientation index of the government expenditure. It means on the government expenditure is going to increase. And if the government is going to invest the money, more people will get the job and more people will be benefiting. And the total official flow, that is official development assistance plus and other official flow to the agriculture sector. It means the expertise, the movement regular movement of that is the official persons or the government staffs and to the agricultural sectors. And third one is adopt the measure to ensure the proper functional of the food commodity market and their derivatives, and then the facilitate the timely access to market information. They will getting the market information timely. Okay, how much price in Naragat, how much price in Kathmandu, how much price in the Pokhara, whatever. They can get the information from the mobile apps, including on food reserves and to help the limit extreme food price volatility. Then automatically the inflation rate is high from this project, and they can know that's the time information of the price. And next one is the indicator of the food price anomalies. Whatever the price, they are going to, that's not the cheating to the users. So the similar price this is going to charge to the consumer, either Pokhara or the Kathmandu, due to these value chain projects. Then the operating the value addition, either the producers or there's a transportation agent or maybe the processor or the maybe retailers, they are benefiting from the projects. And then open, and then ultimately the sustainable the value chain. So that's why the price is the open or not the secret. And by 2030, then half the per capita global food waste at the retail and the consumer level reduce the food losses along with the production and supply chains, including the post-harvest loss. From these projects, they will guide to how to the time of the harvesting, how to grading, how to packaging, how to transfer from production side to the consumer. So ultimately, this increase the good value chain, supply chain, and the value chain. Then after the harvest, so that's the maybe the 50% of the knowledge will be increased. Before this project, and they have the loss. Now the 50% of the loss is going to save from this project. Global food losses index is going to increase. Again, the UN strategy for the plan 18 to 2001. What is the UN strategy here? The outcome one is the growth and development are inclusive and sustainable, incorporating the productive and capacity that create the environment and the livelihood for the poor and excluded whatever they are. So then they are going to support the deprived of the poor. So the UN strategy is helping the poor, rest of the poor. So then providing that the technology, not giving the fish and then giving the skills to the farmers, the stakeholders or the value chain actors. The UN Development Assistance, the framework that is the outcome, sustainable and inclusive economic growth. Not only that is the high tide and lower, the sustainable and inclusive, then participation all that is stakeholder there, growth. And proportion of the population, the living below the national poverty line, that is the starting of the project 21.6, and then that's down to the 13%, 13.8. So it is meant the poverty line is going to reduce. And employment, the people living below the, that's the USD, that is the 1.25 the per day. That's per day. The total employment, the baseline survey, that is the 22% target to 12. That's the increase. That's the 12%. So then this is the target of the quantitative increment of that projects. And again, that is the next 1.3, the average hour spent in the domestic work by the woman. That is the baseline is that the 12 hours per day, then reduced to the 10.27 hours per day. But before the projects, their involvement with women is the 14 hours, and their working hours are going to reduce than 10.2 hours. And again here, then a share of the bottom 40% in the total income, and that is the 11.9% in 2016, and targeted to the here at the end of the projects, that is the 15%. Increase maybe around 3 point something, or 4 point something, yeah. And the next one is the household with the inadequate food consumption. That is the inadequate. That is the 15% they have the not adequate, and that is going to reduce the year the 10%. Whatever that the targeted to here the reduce, and the prevalence of the undernourishment. And before the projects, the under is 36.1, and the target to reduce the 20.6. Then population below minimum level of the dietary energy consumption, and that is what is the below? That is the 22.8 at the time of the that is the developing the baseline survey, and target to the reduce to they are the 14%, whatever that is the below. And then percent of the migrant workers with a skill job, then whatever that's at the time of the baseline 30% and target to 40%. Then workers the skill labors, the migrant here, then the others they are coming to here. That is the project area. And the next one is the country program document. What is the country program document? And the outcome of one is the by 2022 in that's the empowerment of the whatever they are, especially economically vulnerable, unemployed and underemployed and vulnerable peoples have increased access to sustainable livelihood of the livelihood, safe and decent employment and income opportunity. Then after the projects of the during this 54 months or maybe the 5 years or maybe the 4.5 years, everything is going to increase. They have the good job opportunity and sustainable, that's the livelihood, whatever here. Then under this, what is the outcome here? The policy, institutional capacity development solution lead to the improved disasters, climate resiliences, livelihoods, or maybe the flood, or maybe the whatever things. Productive employment increase the productivity in rural areas, particularly focus on the rural. They will get the job, and there's from the policy, there improve the income, and they will not suffering from the climate disaster. And the third one is improve the national capacity in planning, monitoring, financing, and reporting on 2030 agenda. Whatever that is the national personnel who are in direct involvement here, improve their capacity buildings in planning, monitoring, and financing, and reporting whatever the years. So here that's a focus on that. That is the project has a limited contribution to that's the gender equality here. So these are the targeted by the project, or the goal or the maybe objectives here. And for this targeted, what is the justification of the intervention? What are the justification here? Here the Nepal's agriculture that shows the weak growth of rate with the low productivity, slow growth, weak. And this is the for the several regions, including access of the input, quality of extension packages, quality and the reach of the extension support, access to the finance, whatever the here, that ultimately the justification. Then while the most cultivated areas are devoted to the cereals, there is still the growing of the food trade deficit. The deficit is not solely a function of the domestic production level. And other regions include the low marketed volume and high rates of the losses between the farm gate and the consumer. The huge loss and efficient crop handling, adequate market infrastructure, or the marketing are also important in minimizing the post-harvest losses and achieving the best possible prices for the farmers. So these are the justifications. Before the projects, there are the loss, huge loss. Then after the projects, then post-harvest loss is going to minimize by certain things, either the collection centers or maybe the handling, that is the grades, everything. Then certainly this value chain project then reduce the losses and that ultimately benefits farmers. Again here, against that is the backdrop or the backdrop of this project, and the project focuses on increasing the production, reduce the post-harvest loss, and improving the marketing system for selected fruits and vegetables in the provinces 3 and 4. Cooperation farmers groups will have the better access to the production technology as well as improve the crop production practices. And then post-harvest technology will be developed and rolled out in the collaboration with the NARC and reduce the share of the post-harvest losses, support to the physical facility, organize the management, and the price information that will be given to the collection centers and satellite and the wholesale market, enhance the market linkages program. Everything. Then who are involved with that as value chain and supporting to the all the value chain actors. Then only this is the justification here. Then what is the expected outputs and indicator? What is that is the anticipated that's the output here. And the project output, the one is to identify the potential fruits and vegetables production pocket area and conduct the gross margin analysis. Find out what is the pocket area and what is that gross margin analysis. Second one is to improve the access to production technology. Maybe the new technology will be introduced. And under this, strengthen the capacity of the Nepal or whatever the NAR. Also, that the NAR people's the resource persons capacity will build up and develop the post-harvest losses reduction management technology by the NARC. The NARC will do what will be the post-harvest loss technology, and they will do the research and supporting the two provinces. And again here, that is the transfer the post-harvest technology to the farmers with the improved access to the input support. That the equally supporting the inputs and then the benefiting from the input support. And improve the function of the collection centers. So they are going to build up the collection center. And every producer, the farmers, they bring their product to the collection center. And the wholesalers are there and they're selling to the wholesalers with a reliable price. And then promote the marketing system. Okay, then whether I'm selling to this collection center is giving the less price. And why not to sending to all the collection center? That is the information system might be shared. And for meeting that output, what are the intended activities here? Identify the pocket areas and collaborate with the municipalities, cooperatives, farmers, extension officer, informal extension providers. Then who are the stakeholders here? Find out the first. Secondly, conduct a baseline survey, including production cost, current gross margin, productivity, marketing system, use of the porous technology, whatever there is doing the baseline survey. And then after completion of the projects, and then to compare between the baseline data and the end of the data, and that is the impact as a basis of the assessing the financial incentives of the farmers to participate and estimate the ex ante economic insight. Before the projects and after the X means after the ante before that economic impact. And conduct the gross margin analysis for the target crops with and without the projects. Okay, then do the survey to the project area and non-project area and saw the differences between the pattern of this value chain development projects with the non-project area. And another reason is that they provide the training programs on production technology and improve the production practices to extension officials and provide the extension to the cooperatives and the farmers, develop and print manual. And then the pamphlets, the manual is going to develop and then the print it and supply to the farmers or maybe the stakeholders. And support the operation of the revolving fund for the input support to the cooperatives. Giving to the revolving fund, maybe certain 50,000 or 2 lakhs, whatever that revolving fund. They will return later on, and then that money is going to the buying the products and the selling to the market where the revolving fund. And again, then from this, that's the meeting objective. We have the activities and how to arrangement of these activities. The project will be implemented through the UNDP's national implementation modality. UNDP, they have the national implementation modality, and they will do by here. And then how the cooperative agencies include the Ministry of Agriculture, Land Management Cooperatives, Department of Agriculture, NARC, and state municipality or the municipal level and government or the government bodies. So these are the stakeholders. And local partners such as the input supplier, local commodity market owner will be also engaged here, the arrangement of the stakeholders. And then how to implementation of that stocks are, how to implement the projects. Okay, then organogram, that is the project board there in the top, national program directors and national project manager, that's the program assurance and the project staff. They're supported by the PMU unit. And the nextly, the Ministry of Agriculture, Land Management, and the cooperatives will depute a joint secretary to work as a national project director. So here that's the posting of the one joint secretary or the Nepali Shah Sachiv here. And NARC, the council, will be co-implementing agency. NARC is also the co-implementer, co-partner. The COICA and the UNDP will act as a senior supplier in the project board, and then which is the decision making body responsible for that is the project implementation. And then UNDP and the COICA, they will provide the senior, that is the external expert to the projects. So this is that is the whatever that is structure of that the project run. And how much the project budget here? Then USD then okay, then $55,000, maybe that's the crore, whatever they are, dollar. And then 5,000 from the COICA and the US 500,000 the UNDP. And then the different year, that is the budget allocation. That the 18, 19, 20, 21, and the 22, this is the budget allocation. How much money required for the implementing of the projects and meeting the goal and objective are there. Plan of monitoring and evaluation. So the only that is the money and stuff, and who will be that is the monitoring from outside or the internal. Monitoring and evaluation, the plan, detailed plan activities, time frame, calendar operation, and corresponding to the budget. According to budget, everything is going to monitor regularly. And an inception workshops will be held to build the ownerships and identify the role and responsibility of the stakeholder. Inception workshop. Just starting the process, there must be inception workshop. And whether that is to inform the each and every stakeholder's responsibility here. Regular progress monitoring, risk monitoring, and social and environmental standard monitoring will be take place, whatever the social impact and environmental impact, whatever then. UNDP will thus conduct the audit regularly to ensure the transparency of the money and accountability, the UNDP. And then plan to reporting to the COICA, whatever there. Those who are giving the money here, the funding. This is the half yearly, yearly, and midterm and end of the project reports will be produced according to the UNDP monitoring and quality assurance rules and the procedure. They have the half yearly, yearly, midterm, or the ended post harvest of what monitoring and reporting to the donors. And a detailed reporting plan set whatever that here, and that is not necessary. So this is the feasibility study of that running this value chain development of the fruits projects or whatever the value chain development project of the certain fruits and vegetable. Okay, this is all what I want to say. All what is the guidelines? What is the fitted to that the stocks are of a present, that is value chain development project run by UNDP and running in the province number 3 and 4. Okay, I am giving the non-continuous the lecturing, whatever, then no break. I would like to again back. Do you have any problem here with example of the feasibility study? Anybody? Any question?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Then I have given you the guidelines with the example. Can you able to feed your the lead title to this feasibility study or not? Can you able to fit? Or do you have problem? Problem or not? Okay. The problem is the application. If you cannot fit your I think you are near to completion of your report. You have to submit, and you have the good report to That's the Faculty of Agriculture for passing, defending whatever there's. Then you must fit to this feasibility study. Whether exactly not similar to this, you have the budget there, calendar of operation there, manpower there, references there, whatever you have or not. Only develop the PCN, isn't it? Try to fit and write that the practical number 4 record. Can you? Anyway, you have to fit for the submitting the practical records. You must need the 15 practical records. So this is the 4th. Or can I supply the one, this the type of the CATP Himali project, and can you able to fit here, or your example is you are able to fit here? Which one you are going to, your choice? No response. What do you want to do? Okay, your project, yes? Your project. What do you want to do? Can I supply the one example for fitting to this, or you want to fit this feasibility study to your own work? No answer. Okay, Bimal Lamichane, would you please answer me?
Bimal answer every answer.
By the mute your the microphone. On mute. Bimal Lamichane, can you able to fit? Are you listening me or not? Nobody is listening from me. Hello?
Listening to you.
Okay, who is speaking? Biju Adhikari? No.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me loudly.
Yes, sir. We are listening to you.
Can you able to fit your example to this feasibility study, or you need to another project for fitting this? Which one you want to do? I think you have already developed the project, isn't it? Good proposal. You have written the good proposal before starting, or the time of starting. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Would you please fit here?
Yes, sir.
That might be easy. If I'm giving the new one, might be in dilemma. You cannot able to fit. Okay. Your 4th article must be fitting to these guidelines from your the projects, your feasibility study report. Yes. You must have recommendation. You have the differences. You must have the annexure, whatever the I am just giving the here. What, when, how, good example, and then I have given you the structure of the feasibility study report, and with the example fitting. What is the title? Then what is the justification? What is the activity? What is the arrangement? Or what is the source of money? Who will monitoring or calendar operation? Everything. Easy one. The feeding you the nipple feeding.
Any question on the floor?
Now later on you have to fit
Nobody
your
answer.
whole project.
Can you?
Only title to here. Okay. Anyhow you have to fit.
Anyhow,
Okay, last one question.
whatever is the
Otherwise I'm going to finish
analysis is
today
the
my work.
whatever. Can you fit in your research title?
One question.
Whatever is the research title, whatever, can you fit?
One from the boy and one from the girl.
Anyone from the girl?
Okay, first of all the boy.
The boy. Govind
Okay, where are Joshi?
Where Joshi?
Where are you from? Maitadi or Dadaldura?
Dadaldura, sir.
Or Kathmandu?
I'm from Bozang, sir.
Bozang, yes, okay. One of my friend is where Joshi. Now he's in the state. Okay. Let me ask one question. Either what is the confusion here? Nothing.
No confusion, sir.
Okay. And one, the Asmita powder.
How's that hamle? On to the.
Ask me. You might have the problem of the speaking English. Try. The communicative language is
You
not
might
the
have
perfect
the
language.
problem of English speaking. Try it.
I'd like to tell the one interesting story. One of the students in Puranjau, he passed the SLC from the general school, government school, and then getting the admission there. Initially, he spelled me, okay, how to speak Kaseri in Angrezi Bolli. He surrendered me. Then after developing, and then at the last, he can speak maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or an hour. In English. Improve.
Then
I was
after
happy.
developing and giving birth,
Then
okay.
another way around, one guy never spelled out his name in English. Just stopping his mouth, closing his mouth. Can't care about
Is
that
it
guy.
Sandeep Timal
Okay,
Singh, sir?
anyway, that make you that the agitation killing and then it help you the for speaking either wrongly or right, no problem. It is not our the mother tongue. Even those professors are here, they have the difficulty of giving introduction in English. Okay, anyway, that's all what I want to say today. You must fit your project to this feasibility study.
Excuse me, sir.
Who want to say something?
Sir, how can I prepare pre-feasibility or feasibility study for the action research, sir?
I think you have written the proposal, yes? Have you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you try to fit here. Okay. Maybe you have the introduction part here. Object is there. You have the certain activities, manpower there, calendar of operation, their budget there. Why not to fit here? It means your project is best enough for you. Why either getting beating the phone or not. For learning point of the view, you have developed a good project proposal, isn't it? According to this feasibility title fit there. I've already given you the bottle feeding. One example, the value chain development projects of certain fruits and vegetables. Money there. And for the monitoring, then for the things, you have to develop the log frame. The log frame is the monitoring tool. QQT, what time, what will be the an assumption there, indicator, important assumption. Try. Can you or not? Sagar.
Okay, sir. I will try.
Yes, then certainly you have the information fit to there. Either the some chapter or some heading is missing or some more heading is there, no problem. I am not giving exactly the same template. Option I have given you the option. You can add or you can delete. Or justifying your projects or the league is best enough than others. Out of 161, you might be the best one, first one. Try. Same teachers, same time they taught you. Why not to all win the first? Isn't it? So for this, I'm saying you rest to win. Rest 4 hours and work half an hour.
Motivation is
You can apply. And then not sleeping throughout the day or throughout the night, you cannot do anything. Okay, nowadays rest to win. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow, what is same time?
Yes, sir, in the country.
I have one more class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, tomorrow same time, 6 to 7.
Same time, same link.
Yes, okay, that's the link. The problem is that exactly you have to invite me. I cannot invite you. Yes, okay. Invite me first. Around 5 to 6 or maybe 10 to 6. Yes?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. I mean, good dream.
Thank you, sir.
गुड ड्रीम बनाया कि गुड टीम बने इंग्लिश